Legends, welcome back. We are still on our Mission Possible. This is the latest edition. This is a Fire series video. This is a mission status update. Let's go. All right, so what we're going to cover, mission in brief. What's your fire status today? The 4% rule. Have you had the talk with your partner? Working as a team. True assets. Your balance in your life. We'll get to that. Cash flow quadrant, moving from the left to the right. 3 types of income, diversification, and documentation. Let's engage. All right, the 4% rule. This is for legends that have decided to take on the FIRE mission. Normally, to reach early retirement, FIRE investors would cut some costs massively and save a very large percentage of their income. Their goal or milestone for financial independence is a portfolio large enough to sustain their spending with inflation-adjusted withdrawals, which comes out to about 4% of the portfolio's initial value, which is where the 4% rule comes from. You can adjust accordingly from 4% up based on your income and your lifestyle. Now, for legends, it's a little bit different. You have passive income. That makes all the difference. You make the big money in drip. You diversify. We already know where to diversify, and then that continues the income coming in. The talk. By now, being the 5th video in the series, you should have had the discussion with your spouse, partner, or whatever. And the two of you have come to a mutual agreement on your finances. You have to meet in the middle. And they have to be a yes and a yes. No yes and a maybe, no yes and a no. It needs to be a yes and a yes. And there's an agreement on purchases, investing, and the end goals. Agree on the fire date or the quitting point. If your date is 1 January 2025, 1 January 2030, then that's what it is. Agree on the funds needed. How much are you going to need to live your lifestyle? You saw that in the last FIRE video where you were doing your budget and you had to ensure that you included your extracurricular activities. Agreement on a location. Do you want to stay in the States? Do your significant other want to go to a nice area? Costa Rica, Aruba. I'm telling you, woo, Aruba was beautiful. I fell in love with Aruba. My wife fell in love with Curacao. Anyhow, continue. Ideas of what you will do to occupy your time. Myself and my wife, we're built different. I can be with my wife 24 hours a day. We know when COVID happened and the people were home with their spouses, there was so many divorces. Me and my wife are just built different. I can be with my wife all day long, even though we're not sitting right next to each other. She can be in the game room or something, or in the office or whatever. But if you're going to need something to occupy your time, I don't know. I mean, we get up every morning and go to the gym. We do that together. And now, if you don't like discussing money, get over it. The time has come, unless you want to work until you're 65, essentially. Teamwork. Oh, I cannot emphasize how much the teamwork makes in achieving your goal. And they have to be the same goal. This is paramount in reaching the finish line. It requires total engagement, not no damn execute. This is total engagement. That's why I always say engage. This is engagement from all parties, and kids included. The kids need to understand what the end goal is. All hands are on deck. Sacrifices and delayed gratification. Now, as a legend, we only have to sacrifice to an extent, because everything is about time. And like it says right there, clarification. M squared, E squared, making memories and enjoying experiences always, 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 because we never know when our time is up. And of course, budget accordingly. So that means get that into your budget. True assets. Number one asset on the planet, besides for time, is your health. It doesn't matter how long you live or how short of time you have, how rich you are, how poor you are. If you don't have health, you don't have anything. You could have a gazillion dollars. Good example, Steve Jobs. He had billions of dollars. He's gone. Your health is everything, and you need to do whatever's in your power to maintain it. You can't stop yourself from getting cancer, or you can't stop a car accident or whatever, but anything that's in your control, you need to do. And then, of course, next in line is time. The more you have to enjoy, the better. M squared, E squared. Legends understand. Knowledge. Wisdom is essential. All of my legends have the growth mindset. I don't even need the mindset. Continue to learn. Every day should be something new. It's so much information out here. And of course, the last one, the fourth part, is wealth. Have enough funds to do exactly what you want to do, when you want to do it, and with whom you want to do it. Those are the four true assets. Nothing else matters. The balancing act, bull of 50% work, 50% play. Life's too short for that. My goal, well, it's different from me and my wife, like I said, because we're retired. So ours is 90%, or even 99%, because the only time we can't travel is when the kid's in school, when the youngest one is in school. But like I said, life is short. Playtime should be the majority. 50% work and 50% play. Nobody got time for that. And like I said, the train, it only just makes a brief stop when you go on vacations, and for making the memories and the enjoying the experiences until it reaches that final destination of when your time runs out. So there's things you have to do versus things you want to do. You set the rules, you set the standards. They need to be achievable and measurable. And stop worrying about any and everything. You can only control what you can control. You want to build a life of wealth, your family, friends, and fun. We have the ability to do it. Do it. Engage. The cash flow quadrants, moving from the left to the right. Back all the way back in F.I.R.E video number 1, or she's even in one of the other MPs, I discuss the cash flow quadrant. So by now, if you haven't read the book, I hope you get the book. Have you strategized how you will move from the left to the right side? That goes from being an employee or self-employed to the right side, being a business owner or an investor. Of course, we are all investors in the animal farming and drip. But if your stream of income is going to be coming from the B side, you need to figure out what type of business you want to own, who's going to run it, and all those details that you need to address with that. And what will you do in that new quadrant? Like I just said, first, you must have the correct mindset to match the quadrant. You can't be an employee and try to be a business owner. The mindset is totally different. It has to be the one to match that quadrant that you were in. And the last thing you want to do is to create more work or more jobs, which requires more hours away from your family and those that you care about. It's all about making memories and enjoying experiences. You do not enjoy when you go to work. I don't care how much you enjoy what you do. I mean, I love the Air Force, but then I'd rather be at home with my family than when I was deployed for 8 months in Iraq or 7 months in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I'd rather be home with my family. So definitely don't create more work. Don't be creating 16 side hustles and now you're working 23 hours of the day. No, it defeats the purpose. 3 types of income: earned income, portfolio income, passive income. Earned income, of course, we already know it's money you earn from your paycheck. That's where you pay with your time. More time equals more money. Yeah, it gives a little bit of stability, and that gives you some comfort until something big happens, like the pandemic. Then there's the others out there that are living paycheck to paycheck. That's not the way to go. You're making $1,400 and you're spending $1,399 or $1,401. Portfolio income, money you make from capital gains. Of course, I've discussed it before, the dividend stocks. Interest, royalties, capital gains, all sources of portfolio income. This happens when you sell your stock or you're doing the trading, the puts and calls, and all that fast money. Now, the house flippers fall into this category as well. Those that flip the houses, buy them, method, buy them, flip them, or sell them, or rent them out, whichever way you want to go. Then, of course, passive income. Acquiring assets that pay you the dividends. Thank you, Forex Shark. We have our drip. We have the dividend stocks, the rents from the real estate. And now we have the animal farm. The dogs and the pigs are live. The farm's alive. The pool's alive. The dog pound's live. The pig pen's live. We have means to get to where we want to go. Always diversify. Diversify, diversify, diversify. I'm a 90% drip, 10% animal farm, but I have my dividend stocks. Me and my wife, we have our real estate. You do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And then also you put your money, it has to put money in your pocket, no matter what you do or where you are. That's true passive income. That's a true asset. All right, let's continue. Diversity in the drip ecosystem. I understand. Diversification is the practice of spreading your investments between different products and protocols so that your exposure to any one type of asset is limited. The goal is to help reduce the volatility of your portfolio over time. So Forex has given us we have 7 different streams of income in just between drip and the animal farm. I only listed 4 here. I'm missing the pig pen. I'm missing the dog pound. I'm missing the pools. Those are the other 3. And then you have the 4 here, the faucet, the piggy bank, the garden, and the farm. And then, of course, mix in your stocks, the dividends. Like I say, if I'm going to own the stock, skip Tesla, then I want to pay me some dividends. That's the passive income. Because if you own Tesla, you buy that 100 and it goes to $1 million a share, you got to sell that $1 million share in order to get your profit out. That defeats the purpose. And that's exactly what Forex did with the farm. Hey, legend, buy some pigs, stake them in the pig pen. Legends, buy some dogs. You have 2 choices to stake them in the auto dog pound or the linear dog pound. Boom. And we get the dividends, BNB or BUSD. That's the difference. And of course, like I say, mix in your mutual fund, your stocks, of course, your commodities. You got to have some gold and silver in there. Got to have that. Your businesses, franchises. If you want to get a Chick-fil-A, you want to get a McDonald's, you want a Carvel, or whatever franchise you want to get, Kona Ice, that's what you do. Now, when it comes to DeFi, I'm sticking with animal farm and drip. I've lost too much money over the years. I have a developer and a development team and a community that I can trust. I can sleep at night. I'm not worried tomorrow. Oh man, we'll wake up tomorrow when drip be gone. It's not like that. Your CDs, if you want to invest in a CD from your bank or something like that and get the 1% a year when you make 1% a day, that's totally up to you. And of course, real estate. The market is sort of crazy right now, but if you can get a great deal, take the deal and run with it. It's all about diversification. You never want all your eggs in one basket. Let's go. Your documentation. Now, here's a list of some important documents to make your life simpler. And I know a lot of people, oh man, I don't want to talk about death. Get over it. It needs to be done. And if you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for those that you would leave behind if something was to happen. A revocable living trust. This makes it easier to pass your assets on. A living will, especially for medical. Oh man, if something happens and you're incapacitated and you can't make a decision, somebody needs to be able to make that decision for you. The trust. I had one of the legends ask me today in the comments about an LLC and protecting his assets. There's nothing above the trust. You want the trust above an LLC. The LLC only protects you in your state, and it doesn't really give you that much protection. The veil's really thin. It's almost it's really, really visible to see through. An umbrella policy. A lot of folks have never heard of that. I've had them for, oh my God, since I read the Wealth Without Risk book, and somebody had got sued because of an accident at the pool in their backyard. This is the umbrella policy. I'm going to go to it in a minute. Of course, you need life insurance. If something happened to you, you got to take care of those that you leave behind. A family care plan. Now, I know this is a type name that is mainly used for the military. And what it refers to is having a family care plan. So me and my wife were both active duty at the same time. If we had to both deploy for war going on overseas at the same time, we'd only need maybe a day. Call my mom up. She's a retired nurse. She'd fly in, take care of the kids. All the documentation is already set up. She could take the kids to the commissary, to the anything medical that happened, everything, all the paperwork was already done. There was the power of attorney was there. She could get the money out the bank, pay for whatever. All that stuff is already done. That's a family care plan. And even the civilians, all of the legends need to have it. It's you and your wife, you'll get in a car accident and your mother or your mother-in-law comes in. If she don't have all the information in one place already signed, especially a power of attorney, if one of your kids sprained their ankle or something, she can't even take them to the doctor and do anything. It's peace of mind, and that's why I have it, especially with the umbrella policies you'll see in a second. The financial power of attorney. If not that you want them, you can get a special power of attorney and limit exactly what they can do. They can only take $100 out for this or whatever, or leave them a separate account for an emergency. There's ways to work it. The durable power of attorney for your health care. Like we have our medical health care. So like if I'm in an accident, I'm not going to lay there as a vegetable. My wife knows, pull the plug. Done. And of course, again, the power of attorney, especially with medical issues with your family members. You can't leave your welfare just on a whim. Nothing's going to happen to me. Things happen. Now, to the umbrella policy. I've had this for, oh my God, forever. It's $1 million coverage. Of course, I use USAA. It's $1 million coverage, and it costs me $22 a month. Essentially, if you don't understand how this works, on tomorrow, the next day, or if you have time right now, call your insurance company, look at your auto insurance or your homeowner's insurance, and look at your injury, your bodily limit. It says 300 to 500,000. Now, if you get in a car accident and you don't have the umbrella policy and your policy tops out at 300,000, but you get sued for $500,000 or $1 million, where do you think the rest of that money comes from? That's coming out of your pay. The insurance company would be out of business if they were out here just paying money out of their own pocket for your insurance. When I learned that, I was like, oh, hell to the no. I called USAA up, and I've had an umbrella policy for at least the last 20 something years for a measly $22 a month. And I have $1 million. So once my policy, say I get sued for the $1 million, once I hit the $300,000 cap, that's when the $1 million kicks in from that. So essentially, I'm covered for $1.3 million. If somebody's in my backyard and they fall in the pool, or they slip and fall, and there's a medical issue, and they want to sue me, if it goes past whatever's there, like here, the personal liability, if that goes past the $250,000, bam, the umbrella policy kicks into $1 million per occurrence. If you don't know, call your insurance company, ask them about the umbrella policy. Like I say, if it's $22 a month, I have peace of mind. I don't worry about it, especially when we had the people here having the car accidents. You be at the stoplight and somebody would come and bump you, or they jam on the brake and you bump them, and then they get whiplash and then they suing you. No, I'm protecting my assets. You're not getting my house, not for no $22 a month. Anyhow, legends act legendarily. Now, okay, we went over the 4% rule. That's being able to remove 4% of your savings that you had saved up for your FIRE. Having to talk with your partner early as possible, get all the information, or decide all the decisions, the goal, where you're going to live and everything, get it done early, and then start narrowing it down as you start getting closer and closer. Do you want it? The earlier you can get it, the better it is for you and your spouse, or you and your partner, to reach the goal. If you know, okay, well, we need to have $7,000 a month. Okay, now how are we going to get there? Well, we're going to do drip, animal farm, some dividend stocks, and we own a business already. Whatever you got to do. Then working as a team, like I say, you have to work as a team. Like I said, I really was blessed with my wife, and we've always had the same goals. It's always been the kids, first. Even when we decided locations to go, to be stationed, she got the decision to go overseas to Germany. So that one was on her. but it's no issues. Everything just worked out the way it was supposed to work out. True assets, time. You know how important I always mention time, because once it's gone, it's gone. You can't make it up. There's no refunds on it. You have to enjoy as much as you can. Your health. It doesn't matter how much time you have, because you can say, okay, well, you're going to live to 50 years, but you're going to be a vegetable. No good. You want 150 years and you want to be as healthy as you can. Now, your wealth, you want to have the money to last throughout your time. You want to have enough for you and what you're leaving for your legacy to continue. You don't have to have a gazillion $billion, but the last thing you want to do is live to 150 and you run out of money. You want to get a job at 100 years old? I know I'm just using it as an example. And of course, your knowledge. Read audibles, audible books, whatever you have, whatever or way that you acquire your knowledge, continue until you can't do it anymore. Even if your eyesight is bad, hot damn it, use Audible. There's no excuse not to be increasing your knowledge every day. In balance. What do you really consider balance? 50% work and 50% play? Yeah, work hard, play hard. No, you work hard and play harder. You get it in and you figure out that balance, what's best for you and your family. Of course, again, the cash flow quadrant, moving to the left to the right. If you haven't read the book, please read the book by Robert Kiyosaki. It's called The Cash Flow Quadrant. I've discussed it numerous times in the MP videos. We went over the 3 types of income, went over the diversification, went over documentation to help make your life easier. And of course, we went over the umbrella policy. Now, this is for informational and educational purposes only. Never intended as any type of financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm here providing information to my legends to help you get to where you want to go. Like I said, some of your legends may not have even thought it was possible to fire. You're in drip. You have the ability to do it. We know what's to come. Now it's just a matter of planning. And you've heard me say my favorite saying. People don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. All right. Now, always remember the 3. Number 1, crypto is an individual endeavor. You do what's best for you, your family, and your family's finances. All the decisions need to be made by you or you and your partner. Don't one just do it without the other. It needs to be a mutual decision on everything. A full 100% yes. I don't know. No, that's not going to work. It needs to be committed from the 2 adults. And of course, the little people, if they, of course, decision-making age or input age, if they're babies, they can't have no input. But if you have teenagers, oh, Dad, I want a new car. Oh, I want to go do this. Yeah, you need to have that goal in there. And of course, we have the best development department and the best community in all of crypto. You know that. And of course, number 3, increase your knowledge, reduce your risk by doing exactly what you're doing, watching the MPs. At this point, we may be close to 60 MPs. These were designed specifically for the legends. Now, I know there's other people that come in and out and not subscribe to the channel and don't comment on the channel, just come in and get the information. That's fine. The channel was created for the legends. And the legends that have their own teams, especially too, because there's no need to reinvent the wheel. There's no need to reinvent the video. If you're a legend and you're creating your own team, send them to L7 Crypto. You have nothing to lose. They've already signed up under you. Now share the information that you've had. Share it. I'm doing the same thing by creating the videos for you. Excuse me. And again, like I said, I will continue as long as I'm making these MPs for everyone to understand just how important time is. Because you can improve all the wealth, your health, the knowledge. You have the ability to control it. We have zero control over time. Zero. So legends, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You got 7 seconds. To all of my legends, like the bull says, engage.